Hello, we have a bit of a special episode today. I ran a playtest of a new game that is on Kickstarter called Adversary, written by Benjamin Drury and Zadkiel Vaske-Huff. You know Zad from Tempest Multi, and you'll see Ben at some point in Aboard the Opal Star. This game is the final confrontation. A long journey full of triumph and despair has led you and your allies to this moment. Whether you are victorious or failed, the world will be forever changed. I just like it. It's got a nice dramatic flair.
Yeah.
So, game about heroes at the climax of their story, drawing on their experiences to defeat the bad guy and create a better world. So basically, final fight with flashbacks to how you got to where you are. And just make it as weird as you want. The first thing we do is decide on the setting or genre. So it could be Old West, sci-fi, fantasy, high school cafeteria. Sounds fun to y'all.
I mean, I like fantasy, I like sci-fi, but I'm pretty open to a lot of things, so.
How campy do we?
Wonder how many times can we just break Ben? Emily, you get the unique chance to make his life complicated.
Oh, how is that unique? I could do that every Wednesday.
True. But now you get another chance to mess with him and his weird spelling of things.
They can be visually appealing spellings. They're just not necessarily what you would think of first.
Fair enough.
Really not.
Is our setting going to be at a spelling bee?
It could be.
Pick something. Don't overthink it. Pick something. I can see both of you overthinking it.
A spelling bee, but the judges are bees. I do not know how that affects the actual setting.
Okay, so clearly this would be a fantasy spelling bee.
Yeah.
Yeah. The judge is a single bee that will tell you if you've spelled it correctly or not.
And is all judged by vibes.
Yes.
What if the bee is the big bad? It's a fantasy world. There's a spelling bee and the judge is the big bad.
You must defeat the judge.
The king bee.
Do we want to do it more as an actual physical combat kind of battle, or do we just kind of want to defeat them emotionally or logically? Because it's open to interpretation.
Yeah, true.
Final battle is obviously taking place in a high school auditorium. So where else do you, or middle school auditorium, wherever else you have spelling bees. I don't know where those actually take place.
Auditoriums or community centers?
Yeah. Let's say community center, limit the collateral damage.
Yeah.
But also taking out the center of the community. Community centers are important.
I mean, it's a fantasy community center, so they may have like a Coliseum type area. It's fine.
Maybe the community center is the bee's hive.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So we're defeating the big bad in their inner sanctum.
Yeah. Bees have taken over the world.
Yes.
Why do I feel like this is actually switched to sci-fi?
It's fine.
It's a switch to Doctor Who sci-fi specifically.
So are we going for the 1920s bit? Leaning into the Agatha Christie thing?
There was another thing with bees later on. Well, that was kind of tied to that when the bees started disappearing because some calamity or other was going to happen. Except for this time, the bees took over. It kind of leads us to, what is the adversary's evil plan? What is this bee trying to do? My first thought is eradicate illiteracy.
Eradicate illiteracy.
Yeah.
I don't know if we want to defeat him with that purpose.
He's doing it by killing anyone who's illiterate.
Oh, that's a concern.
We don't have to go with that. That was just the thought that popped in my head. Is this bee trying to take over the universe? Is he a science experiment gone wrong, trying to prove that he's a better speller than his maker? How is that idea weirder than the first?
He's enslaving bees to write a sort of dictionary of all the spellings with the vibe. I don't know.
If you control the language, you control how history is told. So you can just erase any time before the bees took over.
Yeah, that's true. That would be...
So the spelling bee is all part of their attempt to take control of all language and thus take control of the story of the world. Alright, so this bee is trying to rewrite history.
Hister bee.
Just a good way to show off the flexibility of this system.
Part of their plan is just to insert bee and other bug-like puns
Yes.
into all of your sentences.
And it's like, I mean, that's nice, but just the rewriting of history is a bit of history is a little much, bud.
Okay, I love this. So, who is the adversary? It's the bee.
Yes.
King bee, queen bee.
Or they could be like a hornet or a wasp masquerading as a bee.
Yeah, that could be that as well.
I'm wondering if there's a type of bee out there that's name is constantly misspelled.
Ooh, that would do it. And it's never misspelled the way they want it to be misspelled.
What if it's a hornet that's upset because things keep autocorrecting its name to horny?
That would do it.
And that just started this whole thing.
Ooh. They're part of the order Hymenoptera, which is really cool.
Yeah?
What did you do today? Oh, I played a TTRPG. Oh, what'd you do? What was that like? I did a lot of random bee research.
Oh, that's normal. Okay.
So,
Continue.
in my Monday night game, at one point, our artificer was looking into how to make bee armor. So we have a hornet.
They can be a bee holder.
Beholder.
That is their title.
Yes.
As they hold control over all the bees, and now they're going to take over Hister Bee.
They're the bee holder.
Okay, I like this. So they're the bee holder. There's a hornet. Started getting upset that it kept having its name corrected to horny. And decided to take over language and realized, hey, we could just totally rewrite history and make it so I've always been in charge and see how many bee puns I can fit into everything. Just, if you extend it to insects, a lot. And I insert a pun counter. We'll see. So now we have the adversary figured out. What about our hero? Who is your hero?
Are there two heroes or just one? And we're sort of making up their...
Everyone is a hero.
Yeah.
Alright.
So all of us get to make a hero.
Okay.
Somebody who would be rising up against the bee holder.
For me, a botanist who is upset that all the bees are being taken away from their job pollinating, because that's really bad for the environment.
Oh, I think mine's gonna be like a 12-year-old kid who's like reigning champion 3 years running at the spelling bee, who is kicked out of it and disqualified for the change in spellings.
So you know how things are actually supposed to be spelled. Then the bees took.
Yeah, they just brood in a chair with a lollipop hanging out of their mouth. I used to be somebody until the bees came. Now I can't be anybody anymore because I hate bees.
Be anybody?
Mm-hmm.
I know.
And then we have someone looks like a field researcher just for the corner fretting about like the crop rotation's getting slimmer and slimmer each year just because there's not being enough pollination. We've been trying all these other methods, but it's not working. We need the bees. They're all being used to take over the world, and they should be pollinating. Don't they understand?
I think my hero is someone who was hearing so many bee puns that they just snapped. So they will destroy the beholder strictly because of the puns. They cannot deal anymore.
If you're also like a radio announcer, you just got so tired of every script being full of puns.
Yes.
Just everywhere.
I'm a radio host.
No
and I'm
escape.
just like, I can't do this anymore.
Okay.
Now, everyone's favorite part. What are names?
Yes. I am Sally Fields, because I'm a field researcher.
I think the little kid's gonna be Zinnia Primrose, goes by Zin.
Love it.
Both flowers that bees go for.
The irony is Zin is not Zin about this situation.
No.
No. Okay, I think my character is Beatrice Belrose, and one of the things that set her off was her name kept on being misspelled. Put the bee puns in her name so much, and she couldn't.
Add that to like all the scripts that you had to read, all the ads you had to listen to, all the music where all the words were switched out for bee puns, all the jokes people made about your name.
Yeah.
Enough to drive anyone mad.
Yep.
Okay, and now for the abilities.
Abilities. Buckle in, folks.
Okay, so there are 4 kinds of abilities: boons, skills, allies, and knowledge. When you select an ability, take a second to think about what that ability is. Abilities are based on the suits of a deck of cards. Boons or hearts are objects the heroes collected during their adventures. Skills, clubs, or things your heroes can do that they've learned and mastered over the journey. Allies, diamonds, are friends you made along the way, people who are willing to face certain death to help defeat the adversary. Knowledge is spades, things that you've learned that will help you orchestrate the downfall. So, to use ability, you activate it on your turn. Some abilities have tags more defined below, but the important tags are persistent, sacrifice, or reaction. I suggest you start with 5 abilities each. So, you can change the number, but everyone has to have the same amount, no fewer than 4 and no more than 10. While multiple players can have the same ability, a single player may not pick the same ability twice. Pick 5 abilities, your party will gain an ultimate ability page.
Page number 12.
At 10 abilities, you gain a second ultimate ability. So tags include banish, an ability is lost and cannot be recovered by any means. Card effect, the effects of a card on a hero, such as your next action, cannot be a skill. Damage, adversary discards a card or cards, starting with the revealed card after it resolves. The case of a match, the adversary takes damage by discarding the match card and takes advantage from the action. When a hero has no remaining abilities and can no longer act, and your turn is skipped but the adversary does not recover. When all heroes are fallen, you lose the game. So if adversary's card first effect does not take place, use the physical effect, then the card is discarded as bonus damage. Lost ability cannot be used until recovered. Match, if the ability used matches the suit of the card drawn by the adversary, that ability is lost and the action fails. And persistent, once activated, the effect continues until lost due to a match or through another effect. The action can be used outside of your turn. Deactivate a lost ability, a boon or ally most often is immediately put in play. Recover for heroes, a lost ability can be used again. For the adversary, place the bottom card from the discard pile into the bottom of the adversary deck. Reveal, after the hero declares their action, reveal the top card of the adversary deck. If the player answers the prompt, then the effect on the card takes place. If the card is a face card, resolve that card first and then reveal. If there's no damage being dealt, put the card on the bottom of the adversary. Sacrifice, an ability is lost and cannot be used again, but succeeds. Show, some abilities ask to show a card from the adversary deck. That means show the card to everyone, but do not activate any decks until it is technically revealed. For skip, if a hero cannot or chooses not to act for any reason, the adversary recovers 1 card. So none of the abilities have names, but they do have a list of abilities that you can name. In adversary, we have defined each ability's mechanical effect, but not their flavor. When you use an ability, you describe how you acquire the boon, what the skill looks like in action, who an ally is, and what they do, or what your knowledge contributes to the fight. The way to prepare for this is to name your abilities once you have an idea how you might describe them. Likewise, a good way to choose abilities might be to think of what resources you want your hero to have access to, then choose the effects you think express those ideas. And then there's a list.
Do we want to do 5 abilities each, just to make it simple?
Yeah.
Okay, so just to make sure I have this correct, okay, so we choose 5 things. They can be either 5 boons, skills, allies, or knowledge.
You can mix and match.
Okay, but they can't be two of the same, like two skill sacrifice and ally sacrifice, like that.
So you have to take 5 different abilities, but if you wanted to take the same abilities that I take, we could do that.
Okay.
So 2 people
Yes.
can have the same ability, but 1 person can't have the same ability twice.
Okay.
Good way to describe it.
I'm trying to get a sort of equal amount, so it's like I have an ally, skill, boon.
Yeah, I like to just choose 1 from each to start, and make sure I have at least something that deals damage.
I know. I was trying to think of how it would work flavor-wise, but this is somewhat sci-fi. Or not sci-fi, fantasy words.
Yeah, somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, so...
I'm copy-pasting the abilities and then putting, like, what suit and what it is, and then let's put heart/B. So if you want to deal damage, pick a variety of damage sources instead of sticking to one category. If you want to heal other heroes, look for abilities that recover. If you want to protect your friends, reaction abilities are the way to go. If you want to support the team, look for abilities that boost damage, prevent matches, or negate card effects. Try and to take at least 1 or 2 damaging abilities you'll need to keep pressure on to beat the adversary. Tips are helpful. I appreciate those. People are like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah. So to make sure I have everything I understand, if a card is banished, it's just gone forever, right?
Yeah. There are very few ways to recover that ability. I think there's like some ultimate abilities where you can recover banished cards, but
I currently have Flight of the Bumblebee stuck in my head, so...
Oh, yeah, we have to name our abilities.
you get to name them for your character, for our setting.
Do you have any suits that you haven't picked from yet, Alexis?
No, I have all of them. I was just thinking of names. One of them I'm thinking of between, like, filial bonds and, like, just magic. And I'm like, which one is better?
Which do you want to say emphatically more?
Yeah, that's true.
Friendship is magic.
You're not wrong.
You can't go wrong with My Little Pony reference.
Yeah, that's...
Whenever you deal damage with an ability, the adversary can't recover until the beginning of your next turn is BB gun. Okay, the effects of a negative match. Antihistamine.
I think I've got my 5 abilities, and I think they're all named.
Some of mine feel clever. One of them is for the whenever you lose a boon, you can select a different boon. That ability is bottom of the backpack.
Not boomerang?
Oh, that's good. Now I have to come up with all the B puns.
Yeah, I've got a boon for a persistent boon. Once activated, can't lose allies on my turn. Remove thy sting. A skill that's a damage and protect skill that's I can do a reaction or sacrifice. If a hero suffers a match, deal 1 damage. Autocorrect fail. An ally that's a persistent protect. Once activated on my turn, the reveal only takes effect if it is a match. That's not the correct spelling. Knowledge sacrifice. An ally takes a turn in my stead. You still suffer the effects of the reveal. I need an adult. That was the first one I named. It just immediately, as soon as I took it, it's like, yes, I need an adult. And then another knowledge that's a combo damage. Deal 1 damage for every active ally. Let's do it together.
Oh. One of my boons, persistent, once activated whenever you deal damage with an ability, the adversary cannot recover until the beginning of your next turn. Be gone. Another boon, reaction sacrifice, prevent the negative effect of a match. Antihistamine. Skill sacrifice, recover any hero's lost skill or ally. You dropped this. Persistent, once activated, when you choose a boon, select a different boon from the boon list. If the ability is lost, it is banished instead. Bottom of the backpack. And persistent, once activated on your turn, choose 2 actions and pick which happens after the adversary reveals. Well prepared. Bottom of the backpack is like, I'm a field researcher. I do botany. Of course I have a backpack with a bunch of readers.
Mm-hmm.
Besides the friendship is magic one, mine isn't. That's good. Let's see. Yeah, I have the Persistent. Once activated, you cannot lose allies on your turn. Reaction sacrifice to prevent losing another hero's ally. That's Friendship is Magic. Skill, Sacrifice. Recover any hero's lost skill or ally. Try again. Allies, Persistent. Once activated, every time an ability is lost, sacrificed, or banished, place a counter. Remove all counters at the beginning of your turn. Banish, reaction, deal damage equal to the number of counters placed. No buttons! Then there's Persistent. Once activated on your turn, the reveal only takes effect if it is a match. Special Snowflake. And then the last one is Sacrifice. Until the end of your turn, all damage sources are increased by 1. I call that one Pointy Sticks.
Okay, so last step to build your heroes is to select an ultimate ability for the party. This card can be used by anyone in the party after the face card is revealed and is then banished. The party may select one ultimate ability per 5 abilities to maximum of 2 if we do a 10 ability game. Each ultimate ability selected, the adversary gets a face card. Face cards are the adversary's most powerful ability and are placed in the middle of the deck after shuffling. This adds some drama to the game. If there are 2 face cards, put one in the middle, blah blah blah. Face card effects happen the moment they appear, so even if a face card comes up while damage is being totaled, stop play to resolve the face card effect. It does not count as damage towards the adversary, so choose your ultimate. Oh, one of them is the power of friendship. Yeah, I love these names. Omni Slash is at everyone. The plan comes together. Cast it into the fire. Assemble the artifact, the power of friendship. I can do this all day. Chosen one, there's still good in you. Have to go back. This isn't over. Inspiring speech, but at what cost? At everyone, you get all of your allies, whether they've been lost, not yet activated, or banished. The plan comes together, all damage is doubled until the end of your next turn. Cast it into the fire, lose 1 boon per hero. If there are no boons to lose, one player must lose all of their abilities. Choose card effect. The effect always fizzles. Assemble the artifact. Each hero banishes a boon. Combine all boon effects into one for the active hero. The boon cannot be lost until the last boon is remaining. When the boon is used, matches do not take effect. Our friendship to the adversary does not reveal until the end of your next turn. You can do this all day. Automatically activate if all heroes have fallen except you. Recover 1 ability per player and the adversary does not reveal this turn. Chosen one, choose a hero until the end of your next turn. That hero may act in addition to another player's turn. Choose who suffers card effects after the reveal. Still good on you. Every hero makes a passionate plea to redeem the adversary on their turn. During this time, the adversary cannot match and all card effects fizzle. This is sufficient to defeat the adversary by the beginning of your next turn. Narrate the peaceful resolution to the session. And we have to go back in time to face the adversary during a critical moment. Create a deck by randomly selecting 2 cards per player. If you're in the past, you recover all of your abilities as if you just started a fresh game. If you defeat the past adversary in 2 full rounds, the effects of the face card are negated. If you somehow do it in 1 round, the face card is negated and deal 4 damage when you return to the present. This is an over 1 hero who has fallen recovers all their lost abilities. Inspiring speech. Whoever uses this makes a rousing speech inspiring the other heroes to win the day. Recover a number of abilities equal to the number of heroes plus 1 divided however the heroes wish, but at what cost. Each hero secretly writes how many abilities they're willing to banish. The total amount of abilities banished is greater than or equal to the adversary's remaining cards to defeat the adversary. But some or all of the adversary's equal play works. Narrate the results of the hollow victory. Those heroes that survive may narrate possible outcomes. Heroes that are fallen narrate negative ones. Or some of these are straightforward, where one of them is just, you can hit, everyone gets to hit them harder until the end of the next turn.
Yes. I also like this isn't over, just because since there's only 3 players, like 3 heroes, that would really help. If we had a lot of ally abilities, then is that everyone would be helpful.
We have to go back, could be.
But that one would also probably be better with the larger party or with a lot of damage dealers.
Yeah.
Just because that one, in order for the really good thing to happen, you have to defeat the adversary. And yeah, like the 2 rounds, or preferably 1.
Who has abilities that actually do damage?
I have an ally one that does.
I have 2.
I have one that increases damage source.
No straight damage, but...
I don't have any damage abilities.
Oh, well then I hope you're support. You can assist.
Yeah. But also one of my abilities is that whenever you deal damage with an ability, I'm like, oh, wait, hang on. I need to go rethink that.
Yeah, I may need to see.
Choose a suit at the end of your next turn. Deal damage equal to the number of times a hero uses an ability matching that suit. It's 1 per hero, I get the boon back. So now I can deal damage. So the back in time one's still good on you talking down a bee.
We're gonna assume he's a very large bee. Like a human-sized bee.
Yeah, not like a teeny little bee like sometimes gets in my room. Which I'm on the
No,
2nd floor,
no.
so how?
Right?
Doing my new damage one is sneak attack. Do we want to go with which one's more useful or which one would be more entertaining? Because a hollow victory against bees. Hollow, because it's all a beehive.
I'm down for entertaining.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I think I switched my skill to deal 1 damage, banish to deal 2, and give this skill to another player. If the skill is lost, activate its banish effect. Called Hot Potato.
Do we want to go, we have to go back? Or do we want to go, but at what cost?
Do we want to flip a coin?
We could just do odds or evens. Using dice in a card game. We have to go back, odds. Sure. Out of 3, we have to go back.
Alright. I can try it, see how it goes.
Worst thing that happens is we all die.
Yeah. Bees take over the world.
So long as we have fun doing it.
Yeah.
Exactly!
Maybe the real failure are the friends we made along the way.
Alright, building the Adversary deck. The Adversary's deck is made up of Wrath, which is hearts, Cruelty, which is clubs, Betrayal, diamonds, and Despair, spades.
Oh, wow.
Total up your hero's abilities based on their suits. Draw a number of cards equal to the party's total per suit to build the deck.
So the adversary deck is 15 cards.
Yes.
Yes.
Plus a face card. But we'll get to that later.
So I have 2 hearts, 1 club, 1 diamond, and 1 spade. And Alexis, what do you got?
I have 1 heart, 1 club, 2 diamonds, 1 spade.
I have 1 heart, 1 club, 1 diamond, and 2 spades. So that should be 4 of everything except clubs.
Well, here's the funny part, is the face cards... See, to make sure the party doesn't cleverly pick a face card that would be useless against them, face card selection is determined by the highest number of abilities you have chosen.
Mm-hmm. So, and we match in 3, so we could basically throw them together, shuffle, and pick one at random.
Yeah.
Okay, have the Adversary deck. Okay, if each card effect has 2 parts, if first does nothing, the effect fizzles, that which means the card is discarded after the fizzle effect occurs. Unless otherwise stated by an ability, a hero cannot be affected by the same card effect twice. So if you are under the effects of Cruelty, you cannot be selected as a target for Cruelty until after your next turn. Kind of makes sense. This number of abilities you have chosen, figure out which ability your party is heaviest in, and then pull 3 identical face cards, shuffle, select 1 right.
Well, we've got a couple of options since we have 3 suits that have the same number of abilities. We could either randomly select a suit and then do the blind shuffle with that, or we could throw all 3 of them, have all of those face cards, shuffle and randomly select. So then even the suit that it is would be a surprise.
I like that second one.
just completely blindside us with whatever.
Yes.
by the villain. We don't know what this bee is capable of.
No, we don't.
Capable of.
So I just drew 3 different face cards out, 1 for each, and that's gonna be it.
Just don't look at it.
I didn't. That'll be fun.
On your turn, you can choose one of your abilities to use against it, and then you pull a card on the adversary deck to see if it matches.
Okay, so as the heroes, we technically don't have cards.
No.
Okay.
Although, eventually, someday, if the Kickstarter goes far enough, there might be little cards that you can then use to keep track of your abilities.
Which is going to be cool, and from the look of the art, will look amazing. As I've seen bits of the art that Ty's been doing, I'm like, oh, that's so cool.
Ty's gonna tie.
I want it.
Well, good news! There's a Kickstarter.
Oh, I already supported it. Are we ready to take on the adversary? There are no responses to that. Y'all do not seem enthusiastic about taking a fight to this bee. Or wasp.
I don't know. We'll find out.
Oh no, hornet. He's a hornet.
Big and got a pointy stinger.
Really upset that autocorrect kept changing it to hornet. So, first up is setting the scene. This is where everyone gets to narrate a portion of the opening action as we approach this bee as he is rolling over the spelling bee. It is in the middle of his hive. So how does everyone approach? I feel like Sally is torn between, very upset with what this wasp has been doing, and also just very intrigued by him being on the inside of a giant beehive. So, a mix of trying to look tough and just taking notes on interesting things that she notices. Oh, I have never seen bees behave like this.
Yep, Zin's just got their little spelling bee outfit on, their little backpack, straightening their bow tie. And alright, doesn't matter that it looks different now that it's all covered in honeycomb. It's still the same old auditorium that you've been to all these years. You know this place like the back of your hand. Nothing's gonna stop it. Nobody's gonna take this away from me. I'm gonna make you pay. I was going to set the record. It's on. Just strutting with a purpose. It's like, I'm not gonna let any of you stop me.
Beatrice comes in through the front doors into the throne room, basically. Eating from a honeycomb, being like, look, I understand wanting to rise up above people who caused problems, maybe even enslaved you. I understand that. But then you started with the bee puns in everything. You even punned my name. For weeks, I have dealt with this, and now you are going to pay.
You really need to let the bees get back to what they're supposed to be doing. I mean, bees weren't made to enslave the world. They're supposed to be out there pollinating, and everything is gonna die. Do you understand that? You have made my job a living hell. I can't do my job anymore because we're too busy trying to figure out how to stop everything from dying because the bees aren't pollinating. I'm about to have different kinds of mental breakdowns. It's great. Who feels most likely to be the first one to attack?
I mean, I think Beatrice would, just from the intro, but if one of you all think that your characters would, we can talk about it.
Hey, if you want to go first. I heard a volunteer.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it fits because you're having the worst time of this.
Yeah.
Puns are going to be haunting your dreams.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so turns proceed counterclockwise, or clockwise, or even...
Roll for initiative.
Yeah, roll for initiative.
I have it split screen, so it's like, it's a line. So it's like Alexis and me, and then Emily on top, so we could just kind of do a circle.
Yeah, good.
Or you could just pick which of us goes after you go, and then we can go from there.
I mean, I'm fine with the circle. So it'd be me, then Emily, then Brianna.
Okay, so on your first turn, describe your hero for everyone else. Are they a badass?
You could tell by her voice that she was mentally frayed, but she sort of has the appearance of someone who's about ready to snap. Her clothes are kind of rumpled. She has a pair of headphones with the jack just sort of hanging down, and she doesn't seem to either realize that they're not connected to that it's not connected to anything, or just doesn't care, and is sort of like having a tick, like a muscle tick in her forehead by her temple.
It's just vein pulsing.
Yes, this vein pulsing, just being like, I can't. This must be stopped.
What is your first action? How do you attack?
I'm gonna use my ability, No Puns. It's an ally. So in this case, it would actually be a little figurine of the Edna mode from Incredibles, except somehow she's been programmed to go from saying no capes to no puns in the exact same tone.
Yes.
So it is persistent.
And what's its effect?
See, once activated, every time an ability is lost, sacrificed, or banished, place a counter, remove all counters at the beginning of your turn, banish, a reaction, deal damage equal to the number of counters placed.
Ah, it's the ticking time bomb.
Yes. Then I get to choose when it blows up.
So now that you have declared your action, it's time to reveal a adversary card. 3 of clubs.
Mine was a diamond.
Yay,
Oh,
no
I have
match.
to answer. Never mind. We just don't match, but let's see.
Yeah, so despair. Much was sacrificed to gain one of your knowledge abilities. What did you give up despite it being so precious to you?
To get her knowledge ability, what she gave up was she had a microphone that she had since she was a child. She had wanted to be a radio host since she was really little. She was a bit of a nerd. She liked a lot of audio media, and so she had this microphone that she carried around for her as a keepsake since she was a child. And someone offered to teach her how to either sharpen weapons or make them deal more damage, make them more lethal. But in return, and before they would give her that information, they wanted the microphone. And so she traded that for her knowledge ability.
I think as you say this, you see that this wasp reaches behind and pulls out that microphone. Just crunches it in his hand.
Okay, yeah, I think at that, a tear rolls down, but the muscle twitch gets, like, harder. She's like, oh, you're gonna pay for that.
Sorry to be so offensive.
Your death will be slow.
Resolve matches, card effects, reactions, ability effects, and damage in that order. You did not have a match, so card effect is you've set up a ticking time bomb. Reactions, ability effects. So my card effect, since it was phased, active hero loses a knowledge.
Ooh. Okay. Oh, my one knowledge is gone. Okay. That's upsetting, but okay.
Reactions, ability effects, and damage. I don't think any damage is done yet, but it will be.
That's the plan.
That's the hope.
Yeah, so.
That's the hope. You have set this. It looks innocent, but it isn't. And this little figurine that will one day, hopefully sometime soon, explode and hurt the bee, hurt the hornet. But before you could hurt him physically, he hurts you emotionally by destroying part of your childhood in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't that just the way?
It's also, how did he find it? How did he know? Who told him?
You can decide. We get to write the story.
So who would have told him? Or was it the person who taught you how to make the weapon that gave it to him?
That is entirely possible. And it's ironic because that's the thing that was lost. The ability I learned by trading the microphone was the thing that was lost.
Yeah, well, would he have taught you something that would actually be helpful?
We'll never know now.
He was working for the Wasp, so that skill that knowledge is now not useful. Yes. We go on to the next player. Who acts next?
That would be Zen. Which I think I want to use my ally, which is a persistent. Once activated on my turn, the reveal only takes effect if it is a match. So only matches will hurt me.
That's helpful.
So basically, the beholder pulls out that microphone and crushes it and makes that horrible bee pun. And it's just like, actually, that's not the correct spelling. And just pulls out like a red correction pencil and just points it at it menacingly. So you just got this little girl with like pigtail braids, a little small child's blazer looking all nice with a bow tie, who's always so excited for the spelling bee that now is not what it was. It's a farce. It's a joke of what it used to be, this majestic occurrence that every year you battled so hard. And it's like, no! So they're just having a hard time.
After the adversary card, which is 2 of clubs.
Hey, not a match.
And then in that case, it doesn't take effect, but I think we do still read the
The thing.
list.
So yeah.
Clubs, it's cruelty, 2 of clubs. Flash back to the moment you discovered the adversary's evil plan.
Oh,
I like that. That actually works really well.
yeah.
Yeah.
When did Zinnia discover the adversary? First, there was no notice taken when the hornets and bees were suddenly growing larger and mutating from some unknown things. Like, oh, this is neat. They'll be able to pollinate more things. But then they started speaking, and one day, just walking through the woods, Zin heard the beholder talking to some of their minions about how these foolish mortals always lost so much opportunity for fun with wordplay, of making things, of underutilizing their language, so they decided, well, if they don't want to take care of it, we will, and make it ours. And what better way to start than by taking over the radio, taking over the library, and taking over the official certified spellings of the spelling bee, that sacred thing. Of course, there was a moment of panic, and then they rushed home and was like, no, I must stand it, but I don't know any people.
Also taking over the people who make the dictionaries.
Do people read those?
That's where like spelling and understanding of language comes from.
Yeah.
So someone was trying to correct, like, well, no, it says here in the dictionary.
I'm 12.
Of course you read the dictionary.
I've got to know how the words are spelled correctly.
And pronounced, so you can understand the spelling.
And their country of origin and how it's used in a sentence.
And it looks like they're not going to be able to bask in their cruelty. So it just says, actually, I do believe that is how it's spelled. You know, Ben. Also, actually, I feel what in here. So it's either like whoever's running this narrates, or if we're doing a GM lets you narrate how the adversary reacts.
Mm-hmm. Better. B-E-T-T-E-R, better. Anyway. And then I place a card face down and end my turn.
Alright, so now it is Sally's time to step up. She's got her khakis on, the boots, socks up to halfway up her calves, and up her field research backpack. She's got the wide brimmed hat on, And she just looks really frustrated because you know how much time has been taken away from my job. I didn't want to figure out what was wrong with the bees. I wanted to study butterflies. Alright, she's gonna do her sneak attack. Choose a suit. At the end of your next turn, deal damage equal to the number of times the hero uses an ability that matches that suit. If this deals 1 damage per hero, recover this boon. We see her starting to walk around area where the beholder is, trying to play it off casually, but using the fact that he's focused on the two who have been actively threatening him to get around and cause some havoc. And now for his also clubs. He's just feeling real cool today. The 6 of clubs. At one point on your journey, you delayed your objective to do a small kindness that was out of your way. What was it, and why did you do it? So while Sally was trying to figure out what was going on before she discovered, well, it might have actually been around when she discovered the beholder and that they were doing something and possibly ran into the Lovely's Inn, there was this small little critter, like a little cat that she found that got like tangled up in some wire and stuff, so she stopped and helped get the kitty out and, you know, helped nurse it back to health because it got all scratched up and it was dirty and it was hungry. So she stopped to help this cat. Now she has a cat now. Okay, so choose a hero. Their next action is sacrificed. Pull up a dice roll or roll d6 and use it kind of that way. So I'm gonna do like Emily's 1 to 2, I'm 3 to 4, and then 5 to 6. Well, Alexis, you're under despair effect, and now you're under cruelty.
Oh, right. Okay. So sacrifice, so something works, but it's gone.
And your next action is sacrificed. What does that tag mean again?
It means it's lost and cannot be used again, but succeed. If you wanted to use an ability that was already a sacrifice ability, then you're fine.
So you can't use it again, but it does succeed immediately.
Yeah.
Okay, then...
So don't use a persistent ability.
Yeah.
I think the beholder gestures to one of his little minions. They come up behind you.
Okay. Beatrice had started taking this, let's say, object out of her pack, and it actually looks like a potato, which is a little weird, but it's about the size of a football, and the minion is able to sort of startle her, and so she was trying to get ready to toss it to another player, and instead it just hits the beholder. So I'm trying to understand how much damage it would do. It says, deal 1 damage, banish to deal 2, and give this skill to another player. If the skill is lost, activate its banish effect. So I think that means that it's not passed to another player, but I still get the 2 damage?
Yeah, since it's being sacrificed, it's being lost, so you'll get the banished damage.
Okay. Alright.
Damage is
Removing
cards so they don't get back.
This card to card stating that the revealed card, starting with the revealed card after it resolves. In the case of the match, the adversary takes damage by discarding matched cards and taking damage from the action. So, since the adversary's card effect made you sacrifice your next turn, which caused damage, would that count the revealed card that he just drew, or would it just be discard 2 cards? Or, no, this was after it resolved, so this is the resolution.
Yeah, so I think it would just be the top 2 cards off of the adversary's revealed pile, then get pulled and will not get put at the bottom of the deck.
Okay. In case of a match, takes damage by discarding a matched card, then takes damage from its action. I didn't know cards went back after the reveal. I guess there might be some abilities where you can take back one that was revealed.
Yeah, I think if you skip, the adversary gets the card back. They get to recover something.
Okay, so the beholder can now recover less things.
I think so.
That makes sense. I think. It was my turn that led to the effect that happened to you, which made you sacrifice your next turn, so your turn is over. And now it's the adversary's turn to do something. The 3 of diamonds, which diamonds are betrayal.
Well, it doesn't match what I used, so that's good.
Your ally boasted they were the greatest at this, but you knew they didn't have the nerve and have quit the field. How could you tell at first glance they weren't up for it?
So just someone in your past who.
Okay, good. I was like,
Not one of. You're not kicking one of us out.
okay, good.
No.
Or one of my allies. I think that's where I was thinking, like one of my allies.
Yeah,
I'm like,
we're heroes.
We don't do the whole betrayal thing. It's the people that you used to work with that are sketchy.
yeah. So back in Beatrice's radio show, she had a co-host who was a good friend of hers and was somehow more bothered by the puns than she was at first. They were sort of immediately angry while she was just like, well, this is annoying, and then it just snowballed. So the coworker, let's call them Jack. Jack was saying about how he would stop the Beholder and put everything back the way it was. So Beatrice had a lot of respect for Jack just by working with him for a while. They had been co-hosts for a couple of years at this point. But then the next day, she saw him scream and hide from like a little bumblebee. She even sort of confronted him, was like, so I know you said you were gonna sort of stop the Beholder and fix everything. How are you gonna do that if you can't even deal with the little bumblebee, who is absolutely no threat? Because they're not even a normal bee, let alone whatever the Beholder is. And Jack just sort of made some weird excuse. It snuck up on me. It's like, at that point, their relationship kind of was strained because she was like, I mean, you say that, but I don't see how you can help with the bigger one. So,
In that case, hero chooses an ally to lose.
ooh.
If you have one.
I mean, I do. I have the one that's active,
Oh no.
so I don't want to do that right now. Is it lose? Technically?
Yeah,
Is that right? I think I'm gonna lose my special snowflake, which is the same one that Emily has right now, activated.
It can be recovered, but it can't be used until it's recovered.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm marking down as lost.
Describe how you lose your ally.
I think the minion that startled Beatrice and made her lose her thing before takes this other little thing from her pack. It's odd. It's like a little stuffed snowflake that actually can talk. So the minion just sort of grabbed it and ran away. So Beatrice turned back and tried to stop it, but was unable to, and she kept on hearing like, stop! Ow! As the minion is carrying away her little friend. They're not dead, they're just hostage. I know. It's okay, it'll be fine.
And then just pulls out a little packet of Band-Aids from their backpack that's got little hearts on them, and it's like, it's okay. You can just stick a little Band-Aid on, like, on your hand. It's gonna make it better. We're gonna make it all better.
Yes.
There was no damage dealt there,
Not yet, at least.
so it is on to Zen.
He pulls another Band-Aid out of the pack and just sticks it on their arm. Like, remove thy sting, you vile villain! And activate another persistent. This one's a boon, so hearts. Once activated, I cannot lose an ally on my turn. So, on my turn, my previous one is safe. At least.
It's good.
That's what I was gonna do too, and I was like, oh
Yeah.
no, you have to sacrifice. I'm like, crap.
Like, I'm just gonna protect it so that we have it.
This beholder is weirdly intimidated.
by this child just pulling things out of a backpack.
Just Band-Aids. Just Band-Aids.
Still got this red pencil, and it's like, you poke me, I poke you. Try me.
Alright, so we have 5 of clubs.
Yeah, not a match.
But for this question, at your darkest hour along the journey, you went too far. What happened? Which hero at the table tried to stop you? Did they succeed?
Oh my goodness. The darkest hour for this little 12-year-old.
What happened? Who tried to stop you, and did they succeed? Or tried to. You didn't have to have succeeded. The question is, did you burn down a dictionary when?
It was probably more likely when all of the bees were still floating around outside the hive more, and Zin found out that they were going to ruin the spelling bee, like just went back home and grabbed like a can of hairspray and a lighter and was gonna just burn it all down. Just go after all of these like massive bees with this homemade flamethrower, and Sally found them in the forest. Like, what are you doing? No, this is not gonna help. You're gonna get yourself hurt. You're gonna destroy the ecosystem.
Please don't burn down this field of wildflowers. Yes, I know the bees are upsetting, but there's better ways to fight them. Just
you can keep the fire, just maybe have some adult supervision, and let's come up with an actual plan to help. Okay?
Yeah. And so that's how we started our plan to take out the adversary. I want you to still have that hairspray.
There may or may not be a can of hairspray and lighter in my backpack. I mean...
yes, I want that.
You can hold a lot in a backpack.
Absolutely. Probably maybe a new can of hairspray, like nice and full. And is your persistence still active?
Yeah.
Should be.
Also, would it not work and count as a fizzle?
I think for cruelty, it's supposed to be basically all one sentence. Like, choose a hero. Their next action is sacrifice. If the card fizzled, if they would choose a sacrifice ability, banish it instead. So you still choose a hero, and then if they would choose a sacrifice ability on their next action, then it's, instead of being sacrificed, it's banished. So basically, it then doesn't succeed instead of succeeding. But it's in place of their next action being a sacrifice, being sacrificed no matter what.
So if they don't choose the sacrifice ability, if they have that option, then they're good.
I'm just gonna roll 1d6. If I go by the numbers we used before, that would be you, Bree.
Because that was a cruelty thing. How does the adversary bask in his cruelty?
That leaves it so that you can't sacrifice on your next turn without it failing.
Yeah.
You've basically been circling, trying to gather information and observing, looking for weak points, and suddenly the beholder notices you and realizes, oh no, this is the real threat. So they're watching you more carefully. So if you try something risky like a sacrifice, they're gonna hedge it off before you have the chance. It's like, I see you. I know you. I've got my eyes on you. Don't think you can pull a fast one. It won't go well. He speaks very good English for somebody who doesn't know how to spell.
Have you seen the paragraph where you look at the spelling and you just want to murder somebody, but if you read it out loud, it sounds like perfect English?
Yeah.
If you transcribe what he says, that's what it looks like.
And you'll never spell it right because he'll make puns that you didn't even catch.
Yeah.
Horny Hornet.
I keep telling you that's not my name.
Sure it is. That's what was all over the TV before you took it over.
Fools just staring at a box of moving pictures all day, bright lights drawn to it like moths. You have no idea what you're missing in the... But that's alright. We'll show you.
Trust me, honey, I know how intelligent your kind is. I've been at this for a while, and a good field researcher always comes well prepared, so I'm activating a Spade's ability. Once activated on your turn, choose 2 actions and pick which happens after the adversary reveals.
Don't be a spade, don't be a spade.
Ha! 9 of diamonds!
Not a spade.
Question, is that ability...
It was a persistent ability, so I didn't have... It's not a
Aha.
sacrifice ability. It's a haha!
Persistent.
And it just says that she, like, starts, pulling different things out of her tool belt. So, diamonds is betrayal. And that was a 9, so... Stopped along the way to help a stranger, only to find out they were important. Who were they? What did you do? And how did they help you? That's good. When Sally was out doing her field research, she just noticed this beekeeper that was getting swarmed. Her swarms were getting bigger, and she was just freaking out. She didn't know what to do. She was panicking. Bees were harassing her. And I came in, I had some equipment I helped her get the bellows to help calm the bees down long enough to get her in my truck and get her out of there somewhere safe. And she ended up on the drive. She told me a lot about bees and things that she'd noticed that were going on, and a bit of what she knew about the beeholder. I'll say maybe that's what led me to be out in the field of wildflowers, where a bunch of bees were that caught this 12-year-old with the makeshift flamethrower.
Seemed like a good idea at the time.
Hero chooses an ally to lose. I mean, I only have one, but that's a good ally. Who else has allies?
I mean, I think all 3 of us do. I still have 1. Emily has...
My only one is the one that prevents the card unless it's a match.
Yeah.
And if it's lost, we can't get... If it's lost, can it be...
Yes. Banished cannot.
In that case, I will give up mine, because I could possibly get it back. And as I'm sneaking around and saying this and grabbing the things off of my tool belt, one of the larger bees sneaks up behind me and just rips my backpack off of my shoulders and flies away with it. I'm like, hey, no, give me that back! I have important things in there! Stupid wildlife always stealing my stuff. And the adversary just chuckles and takes a bite out of his apple.
Because hornets eat apples now. Because all villains eat apples.
I had activated a thing. Who all has used a heart thing? Since it was my turn.
I used a heart.
I
Right.
have a heart active. I technically have another one that's lost.
Okay, deal damage equal to the number of times a hero uses an ability that matches the suit.
I wonder if persistent abilities should count for that, since it is being used persistently.
I feel like that counts.
It can count if we say it counts.
Yeah.
All right. In that case, I deal 3 damage,
Yeah.
and I get to use the boomer again. So I just take out. One of the things I have is I have several different little things of insect repellents and stuff like that. So I just grab one and I huck it at him. And it hits him and he just screams, "No! You puny little human!" Voice is constantly changing. I'll wipe you out next.
As a reaction, I would like to banish my little Edna mode figurine for 3 damage. 3 counters for this turn, and mine technically hasn't started yet, so...
Yay!
I mean, I only had 1 in the reveal pile, so I guess we take 2 off the top and they're gone too.
So long as neither is the face card, probably.
They aren't.
Good.
Okay. Yeah.
Because we don't want to lose that.
Okay, so it's your turn. As this bee is reeling back from... What does it look like as the Edna mode explodes?
She says no puns, faster and higher, and like as sort of like and explodes. It's just her repeating it over and over. She sort of launches at the beholder and then explodes.
Get him, Edna!
Yeah, basically. Go ahead and go.
Alright.
I have literally one thing left.
Okay.
You can skip.
It's persistent though.
Okay, so then you still be active as an ally.
Yeah.
Good,
Yeah.
because I'm doing a thing for active allies.
I'm going to use my friendship is magic thing.
It's not the official friendship is magic thing.
No, it is not. It's okay. Once activated, you cannot lose allies on your turn. Reaction, sacrifice to prevent losing another hero's ally. So I know I don't have any allies active, which I'm not sure how this is gonna work exactly, but I know since I can use the reaction still.
You should at least be safe for a turn.
Okay, I'll try then, yeah.
Just holding on in the background.
Yeah.
What does it look like?
Okay, here's what we're gonna do. It's gonna be very fun. So, Beatrice says, "You may have dealt with my allies before, but I'm gonna do my best to protect everyone else." And she pulls out this necklace, which has a My Little Pony figurine on it. She wears that, and that is the boon.
Who is it? Which pony?
Ooh. I would say probably Twilight Sparkle, actually. I'm like between her and Rarity.
Yeah, I was about to say, be one of the more, like, out there face people, but I feel like Twilight would be much more of a radio person, whereas Rarity has to be
Yeah.
on TV.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, then Twilight, yes.
Yes, I'm a My Little Pony fan. So now it's time for the Adversary.
Yeah.
And
Oh
it's
my.
the face card!
Oh.
So, Queen of Diamonds.
Queen of Diamonds.
I am inevitable. Oh, I love it.
The next 4 actions are considered matches that do not deal damage to the adversary. If any hero skips, the adversary recovers 2 instead of 1.
Oh no.
Oh.
I think now is a great time to pull out our ultimate ability.
I think we have to resolve this one first, right? Or
After the face card is revealed and is then banished.
Yeah, that's why I wasn't sure.
even if a face card comes up while damage is being told stop to resolve the face card effect.
Yeah, it has to be resolved first.
The resolution will have to kind of play out within the play itself. But yeah, next 4 actions are considered matches that do not deal damage to the adversary. So we can't damage him for the next 4 actions, guys.
I mean, I'm about it anyway, so...
If any hero skips, the adversary recovers 2 instead of 1, but how many cards do we have that they can recover?
Face card.
So they can't recover because we've banished all of their cards.
Yeah, we still can't beat them in 1 round, though.
No.
Yeah, no. I don't even know if the 2 is gonna work.
So we're at an impasse.
Yeah.
We broke the game.
Yeah, I think we broke it.
And Ben, we broke your game, you're welcome.
I mean, we didn't intend to break it.
I mean, well, we can still negate the effects, but the effects will be done by the time we get out.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I'm not sure that our ultimate only happens when the face card is done.
Well, it's any time after the face card has been revealed.
Oh, and
we can't use it
afterwards.
before
Okay.
the face card, but after the face
Oh.
card is revealed and is then banished. But it's that banishy bit.
Does it get banished after its effect ends?
Yeah?
I think so. Because, I mean, he can't reclaim this more than once.
Yeah.
Well then.
Hmm.
Yeah, because I think you can't really do the face card multiple times. It's just the once.
Yeah, that would be too much.
Yeah, so... Whose turn were we on? Who gets to describe what this looks like?
I think it was my turn that the card was turned on.
Yeah, so... As enacts his ultimate ability, what does it look like?
What's the ability called?
I am inevitable.
We have to go. Yeah, theirs is I am inevitable, and then our ultimate ability is we have to go back.
Okay.
We can wait to go back in time until whatever he's got going on wears off.
Yeah.
I feel like that would somehow carry over into the we have to go back.
Okay, so how I think this I'm inevitable looks is look at the beholder, and we actually, as we look around, we notice that the main room of the auditorium, which it's using sort of as its main throne room, is covered in cells, honeycomb cells, little hexagons. And about at this time that we've damaged them, we can see that there are new, in this case, hornets coming out. And when we look and realize these are the beholder's children. So we are now in a room full of, I guess, queen and king hornets. So it looks like this beholder's reign of terror and bee puns is just going to keep on going, even if we stop him.
So we just stand there in shock for 4 rounds.
Yeah, since we caused enough damage, I guess, we can just... Well, technically, he should have 1 card, because you pull the face card, and then you pull another card after it to be the effect card, so then he just gets that 1 card back.
2 of diamonds! Lots of betrayal going on. So, for Beatrice, someone you trusted was with the adversary from the start and played you for a fool. And did you suspect? Who did you try to tell, and why wouldn't they listen?
It was my show's executive producer. At first they tried sort of playing off the puns, like, oh, it's a seasonal thing that marketing's trying out. Don't worry about the pun, the different spellings, it's fine. Then oh, no, it's like this, look, see, they tried gaslighting all these different tactics. So Beatrice at one point went to, the owner and was like, hey, so Alex is acting really weird. They're saying that this is normal and that this is a seasonal thing, or that it's how it's supposed to be now, but I can show in older editions of the same, dictionary that that's incorrect, and I've talked to everyone in marketing. They don't know what she's talking about. So I think there's something wrong, and they may need a sort of investigator. And the owner sits there, scratches their chin thoughtfully as they're hearing this, and go, well, obviously, I know the next steps I need to take. And they fire Beatrice immediately.
Oh.
It turns out that the owner was also on the side of the hornet. Of the beholder, sorry.
Beholder was smart.
Yes.
Bought off the dictionaries and then bought off the media.
Mm-hmm.
They have to spread around all of the updates to the spelling and make sure no one questions until it's too late.
Yes.
Like, we've always spelt it this way.
Yeah, they tried that and was like, no, that is incorrect. That's factually incorrect.
A hero chooses an ally to lose. Do we have any more allies left we can lose?
I've got my persistent one that's active.
Can you lose an active thing?
Pretty sure.
I did the roll for doing the same numbering system. It is you, Emily.
Which means I have to lose my that's not the correct spelling.
Yep.
I now take all effects, whether it's a match or not, which I'm pretty sure I forgot about that on my last turn, and we did it anyway. But
Still getting the hang of this.
that's playing a game.
Alright. So, now, Emily, it is your turn. Next for considered matches. So this is just, do we want to just take the effects and deal with it? Once we activate our ability, we will get all those abilities back that we've lost.
Yeah, so we have to
but
survive through it, but we can't do any damage to them during this time.
Yeah.
Yes, and anything we do counts as a match.
And everything that I had been holding on to for this moment basically does damage. So if somebody has something they could do that would be helpful that doesn't deal damage, I have something I could use.
I think the next turn's yours, though.
Yeah, but I have a thing where an ally takes a turn in my stead.
Okay.
So if one of you has something you want to do, otherwise I could just skip my turn.
0 things. Brianna, do you have anything? I have an active thing and that's it.
I do have a thing that's not damage.
But do you have 2 things? Because then it'd be your turn next.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I got my sneak attack boon back. I do have 2.
Isn't the sneak attack the damage, though?
Yeah, but it's still a thing I can do. I don't have to skip. He doesn't get a card back.
All just frozen in confused fear of what is
Yeah.
happening. And if you want to do 2 things, I could use my I need an adult.
If something recovers any hero's lost skill or ally, can I do that for myself?
I mean, it says any, so...
I would think so.
Okay, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get my damn backpack back.
Do you want to do that now, or do you want to do that on your turn?
I need to do my you dropped this to get my backpack back, and then I will have my backpack, which is persistent. So whenever I lose a boon, I can select a different boon from the boon list.
Oh, that's nice.
Still suffering when there are skips, and it just kind of like cycles through.
And if I don't skip, then you're essentially doing 2 turns in a row, so you have to use 2 abilities.
Yeah, and we're still gonna get the same amount of effects, but I get a thing back. The thing is, if we survive the next 4 rounds, then we can get a reset and get all of our stuff back.
You want to take my turn?
I say, yeah, just let me have your turn. Because I can at least do something, and then that is cards that do not immediately go back.
Which, it's a sacrifice ability anyway, so I wouldn't have been able to use it again if it wasn't considered a match and lost.
Yeah.
So, I need an adult.
Don't we all?
It's alright, I got this. And you see Sally just grabs her backpack from one of the hornets that was flying by. So I've sacrificed my you dropped this ability to it my backpack back. And for the villain, it is going to be 7 of clubs, which is cruelty.
Oh, got plenty of that.
Oh, you were so close. You had a chance to meet the adversary earlier in your journey. What happened, and why didn't you do it then? I answer that, or do you answer that? Because it is technically your turn, but my action?
It says that I still suffer the effects of the reveal.
Yeah, which is choose a hero, their next action is sacrificed.
If it's considered part of the turn, then I guess it's you.
One day, a hornet got in my house. It just seemed perfectly ordinary. It seemed a little obsessed with my dictionary. When it landed on the dictionary, that's when I was able to, clutch it carefully under a cup, and I very carefully let it outside because it was just a bee that got lost. And I found out later that it was the beholder. And I felt a little awkward about it because I could have just taken it out with a can of Raid, but I decided to do something good, to do a good turn to something that couldn't possibly repay me back. And then this happened. And I know, and he knows I know. Saved your life, and this is how you repay me. You ruined my life. It was your mistake then. Or the reason all this happened is your fault. So, I'm just gonna choose myself. I was doing the math, and if I do this thing, then the effect will kick in after Emily's turn, so we can do damage.
Okay.
We want to do damage.
Yes.
We want to do damage, whatever your plan is.
I start sneaking around, rifling through my belt for another thing to throw at him, so choose a suit at the end of your next turn, deal damage equal to the number of times heroes use an ability that matches this suit. Forgot we have to choose a suit, and I just kind of went with the same one last time, but what does everyone have left?
You have to skip. I have one thing active, and it's parts, but I'm not gonna be able to do anything with it. It's already done.
Do you have a heart thing left, Emily?
Only my one that's persistent and already active.
Well, I mean, if we're counting that, that's kind of cheating, but still, it works.
I think that's what we counted it last time, so there's precedent.
You are using an ability.
We're keeping the rules consistent in our universe, regardless of
Exactly.
That is
the outside world.
yes.
Yeah. So, you see me start sneaking around and look and see what I'm going for. And Beatrice is skipping.
Yeah, I have nothing. I can do a reaction, but if I do that, I'm dead. So
And we don't want that if we can help.
Nope.
no. So I am just skipping.
Although I'm pretty sure you'd come back for our ultimate ability when we use it.
Yeah, but I want to try to not die as long as possible.
Okay, so his next card, the Adversary. Goodness gracious, we're just getting all the betrayals going on.
Oh, great.
We don't have any allies to lose.
That's gotta be the last of them by now.
I'm the only one with an ally left, I think. Oh. You feel a deep kinship with the hero at the table. Who is it? What drew you to them? And do they feel the same? Seriously.
Oh, it's mine?
Yeah. Wait, no, did I not do an adversary card for mine? I didn't do an adversary card for mine.
I didn't think you did.
That's mine. Brain.
It's okay. It's alright.
I feel like most likely I have developed a strong respect for Beatrice on a professional level. We're both adults dedicated to our job, and we're also dedicated to seeing this thing through. Also, I'm a big fan of your show. I have my own little show, but no one ever pays attention to it because most people don't find plants all that interesting.
It's just a little podcast.
Just a little podcaster for...
Emphasis on pod, because, plant pods. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like there's been a lack of puns so far tonight.
We've been too busy trying to figure out what?
Yeah.
How? Die? No. Okay. Alright. Yeah, I think throughout your journey, Beatrice explains that she is grateful, and she actually has listened to your podcast as well. She's not a huge plant person, not in a bad way, it's just she has a black thumb. So it's like, I appreciate these, but I know I cannot grow them.
I've just got to say, I appreciate that she's not a huge plant person, because we're already dealing with giant bee people.
Yeah.
We don't need big plant people.
Well done.
Anyway.
Well done.
Anyway.
There's probably been like a couple episodes on the show talking about like how to have house plants when you are green thumb challenged.
Yes.
I introduce you to the wonderful world of spider plants and other things that you can't kill. There are some plants that are very resilient. So maybe I helped you learn about some plant stuff and you helped me make my podcast better. Huh. Maybe I mentioned it once or twice in like a list of other things. So I'm like, I got a bump in listenership, thank you. Okay, now for a hero chooses an ally to lose. The only ally I have is the backpack that I just got back.
Okay. I think at this point, Beatrice, sensing that you're almost gonna lose something you just got back, is like, I can't do anything else at this point. I'm spent, but maybe I can help at least keep you in the fight a little longer. And I'm sacrificing my active ability to prevent another hero losing their ally. So Beatrice is out. For now.
What does it look like you do this?
Can I do mine instead?
I mean, if you have a reaction...
I can do the same thing of preventing losing another hero's ally.
Okay, if you're not
Let's
gonna
do
die
that.
from it. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
let's do that. Like Beatrice is just getting all emotional. She's like,
Yeah.
no, wait!
Yeah.
Here's another fan. It's okay. I don't need them anymore. You can have them. That's my last one. And then remove thy sting goes away.
And I kind of picture as you were going to hand her the band-aid, you stopped the wasp that was coming for my back.
Yeah.
Just swat at it with a, I don't know, can of hairspray. Back off.
Now for the card that would go with Beatrice's, which is Two of Clubs, which clubs are cruelty.
Where are all the wrath Where's all the wrath hiding?
Yeah.
Oh, the wrath is,
There is no wrath.
hanging out for the end.
Oh, great.
Got your wrath right here.
Didn't we already do the Two of Clubs?
Did it get put back?
It probably got put
Oh
back.
no,
then.
it's the Two of... Yeah, flashback to him. I might have accidentally read the wrong one for that.
Oh well.
Oh, we'll just do the spare one then. Earlier in your journey, you failed terribly. What happened?
There was a reconnaissance mission that Beatrice was part of to try and gather more information about the Beholder. And Beatrice was actually given a pretty important role and had to sort of blend in with these other people that the Beholder either manipulated or brainwashed into furthering his plans. And somehow they figured out that Beatrice was a spy, sort of. And so she was forcefully removed. She wasn't killed, but she was, let's say, beaten up. And then anyone that spoke to her had to go through like a debriefing, and they had to get all this other information. So basically everything she got was for nothing, because none of it was useful by the time she could relay it back to everyone.
That's pretty rough. The active hero loses the knowledge. Do you have any knowledge left to lose?
No, I do not.
Hey!
In that case, the fizzle is a hero must lose an ability. Can be anyone.
I only have one ability, so it can't be me unless you want me to go away.
I can give up my well prepared because I've also completely forgotten that I had it and haven't actually used it since I activated.
Oh,
Then,
well. You're not as well prepared as you thought you were.
yeah.
Nope. The bee, one of the wasps, steals my tool belt, so I'm only left with the stuff I had in my hands and my backpack.
Those are very dexterous bees.
It's what happens with the humanizing process.
Okay. In that case, it's in. It's your turn.
Let's get this done so we can deal damage.
Are you just gonna skip or do something?
I think I'm going to sacrifice my skill.
This is how many we have left.
Yeah.
So we might be able to beat him in one round.
I will sacrifice autocorrect fail to cancel the match and deal 1 damage. Can't deal damage, but it is considered a match no matter what, so I can cancel the match.
Alright.
So,
And what does this look like?
so basically,
Does the bee steal your pencil?
no, I go after the beholder with my pencil, but he counters it with his stinger, and it snaps. So you just have this tiny child who's just like, you can take my band-aids and you can take my rage! But it doesn't work.
You could take my band-aids and you could take my rage. Okay.
Like, no,
All right.
these are my parents right now because they're the only adults here.
Alright, time for... Got her first wrath.
Yeah, that would...
5 of Hearts. Wait, I've read this one before.
Yeah.
Did that one wrong?
So maybe 5 of cruelty? You had a chance to join the adversary?
Oh yeah, I read that one wrong. And that was at your darkest hour. You went too far.
That's one of those things that'll definitely be easier with adversary cards.
Yes.
For sure. In that case, let's read the question I should have read a while ago. You had a chance to join the Adversary, but one hero at the table brought you back to the light. Who is it? What happened?
Oh.
So what would have made Zin want to join?
Just the beholder pulling a Grima worm tongue and kind of whispering evil ideas into your ears. You know, you could always be correct with the spelling if you join us because we are making the spell. You'll never spell a word wrong ever again. You can make all of those other children. They'll never know the correct spelling because you're the one making it up on the spot. And probably Beatrice actually is just like, you know, that's not how that should be. Spelling is this decided upon thing. If you listen to the radio, we've got all this stuff during the political season, how it's supposed to be things by the people, for the people. It's an agreement, not a dictatorship.
Spelling your language is a big part of society and how society functions. So if you take away the spelling, then you're tearing society apart.
Plus, people aren't gonna like you.
Yeah.
Do you want friends? Do you want to lose your friends? Because that's how you lose your friends. Tell them they're wrong, so that you can be right.
For the wrath effect, the active hero loses a boon.
I've got no boons.
Choose a hero. Their next action cannot be an ability or boon.
I wonder if that's a typo and it's supposed to be ally.
Maybe it's supposed to be ally.
Ally makes sense. I mean, I wasn't planning on using my ally.
Yeah, why not? I'll continue picking on Sally. I choose you. Don't use an ally or boon.
So a bee just latches onto my backpack. It's still on, but I'm just like, the botanist known entomologist, this is what I wanted. I just quit this and go into radio.
We can do damage again.
Yes, we can.
Huzzah.
And we can, for my action, it's too strong, this isn't going to work. We have to go back before he had this much control.
Can we do that?
I just take out this pocket watch and click something on it, and we go back to a point in time. So the Adversary's plan included just like taking over like the media and the radio and the spelling bee. So we go back to the one of those things that happened here in the auditorium, and it was when he was having a meeting that would give him control of the spelling bee. And a sneak attack activates. Did everyone use a heart ability?
Mm-mm.
Or have active a heart ability?
I have one active.
I lost mine, so no.
So I'm not gonna get the boon back. But I do 2 damage. As I throw a slightly smaller thing that ends up just being Axe body spray, but that still hurts him. Because, ew.
Okay. So now we have all our stuff back?
Yes.
Yes.
For 2 rounds.
Awesome.
We have 2 rounds in the past.
Oh yeah, we have all of our stuff back, and now for the Adversary's reaction, which is the 2 of Hearts. He's gonna be angry at me. Boon you have carried with you from the start is about to be destroyed. What is it and who gave it to you? I had 2 boons. Which one do I want to lose? The thing where I choose a suit and we build up damage, or preventing the negative effect of the match?
I mean, at this point, we've gotten far enough along that we probably want to start hitting with the damage to get it.
Yeah. We want him gone immediately.
Just pile it on.
He's almost out of cards, just in general.
Which means we can get it done in the past.
Exactly. In that case, so Sally has this little pouch that is full of basically antihistamines and emergency medicine for whenever someone has a bad reaction to something like, say, a bee sting. And it was given to her because there was one time when she was just getting started and she had a mentor who gave it to her because it's like you always need to be prepared, Sally. You always need to be prepared, because there's a lot of things out there that may hurt you, but they're just in their home. So as long as you respect their space, they'll respect yours. And one of the bees just grabs it and flies away, and then she has the flashback to that conversation, and she comes back to the present. She's just like, man, was he full of shit. Bee just kind of followed us as we went back in time, just one of them, and it's still a mess. And she's like, and the beholder turns and looks, and she's like,
It came back with us on your backpack.
Yeah.
it did. Good. I don't know who you are, how you found me, but can't stop what's coming. I think, Alexis, it's your turn. You have things you can do again.
I do. Yes. Okay. Question. Does Zin have anything that can just deal damage?
Yes, and I've been waiting for a chance.
Okay. I am going to use my pointy sticks knowledge and make whatever you're going to use very sharp and stabby, or whatever it is that needs to be done.
It'll just be adding shrapnel
Yes.
to the flamethrower.
Yes. Destroy it before it hurts my microphone.
I'm kind of picturing a flashback where we see Beatrice helping Zan attach like this little thing onto the can that includes like metal shavings and filings covered in pesticide.
See, if you do this, it'll do multiple types of damage.
Yes. Yeah.
Just be very careful where you point it.
Yes.
Mhm,
But you will know
mhm,
when the time
mhm.
is right to just
Oh, yeah.
destroy.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
The time will be right when the time is wrong.
Now for the adversary move, we get the Four of Hearts.
Okay.
You were there when the adversary destroyed an important place. What was it, and why were you there?
I think the adversary destroyed, let's say, the capital's library to help further the need for the new misspelled dictionaries. Beatrice was there. She still had her radio show at the time, so she was actually doing research. And she had heard this odd sound, and she thought it was coming from outside, so she had left the building to investigate it, and it turns out it was just the reverb. And right after she left the building exploded. So...
That looks suspicious.
yeah. She was like, what? What?
Wasn't me.
Yeah, it was like,
Wasn't
what?
me.
You heard the
what?
buzz of the bees flying away after they planted the bomb.
Yes. Yes.
The drones. It was drones. It was a drone strike.
Active hero loses a boon.
A boon? Okay. My little pony necklace then snaps and falls to the ground. I look at it and I'm like, I'll repair you once this thing is done.
You're almost there.
Almost.
Zen.
You deal an additional damage.
Zin just watches this necklace fall. I've had it with you, hurting my friends. Let's all do this together. We are going to take this thing down, and pulls out the hairspray and lighter to activate my knowledge ability to deal 1 damage for every active ally, which is all 3 of us. So that's 3 damage.
He only has 1 card he can recover.
He is dead.
Once all cards have been revealed, that means the adversary deck has no more cards, yes?
And I think even before we went back in time, he only had 4, so since we got him in a round...
He would take 4 damage anyway when we get back, so...
gone.
He does get a reaction, which is the 7 of the clubs. Which clubs are cruelty.
Cruelty.
Of
Oh.
course.
Oh yeah, I think he did he get that one? Why is that one back?
I mean,
again?
we had some that were repeated.
Yeah, because he reclaimed cards. He
Yeah.
was
Oh.
able to recover some.
Well, in that case, You were so close. Had a chance to beat the adversary earlier in your journey. What happened and why didn't you do it then? So you also had a chance to stop this earlier.
I feel like there would have been too much collateral damage at the time. We like tying things back together. We like callbacks and weaving our stories together.
Yeah.
So he was a smaller bee then, like about the size of a watermelon. That was terrifying. And Zen just saw it and was like, I wanted to hit it, but saw that it was going after a little kitten. The kitten that's been following Sally around. So instead of hitting the bee and hoping that it could take it out, or the hornet, instead she just dropped the rock and picked up the kitten and ran.
At least two of us have a very strong special bond with this cat.
Yeah. Beatrice is like, it's a nice cat, but I'm good.
So the thing for that is to choose a hero. The next action is sacrifice, but we won, so...
So what does this look like?
I don't know. What does it look like?
You get to decide. Pull out this thing and launch it. It's on fire and just full of little metal bits stinging its eyes. Like, see what it feels like to be stung.
I pull out of my backpack a can of Raid, specifically one to use to kill wasps. I just douse it and just the flames erupt even more because that's flammable.
And I chunked my hot potato bomb at it.
And then, at the last moment, when it looks like it might rise up to try just a bit longer,
Oh no.
the kitten, now a cat, comes running up, bites down.
Rips the antenna off and I'm picturing like the sprinklers start going off and things start warping around us and we are popped back to the future where we are standing in the newly-ish remodeled auditorium because it had to be remodeled after that.
And there's a sign that's just spelling bee delayed 1 week. We did it.
How do our stories end? We went back and stopped him before a lot of this started, so perhaps a lot of the things that happened to us never happened.
It's all just a dream. A strange dream.
I feel like we remember.
We sometimes try to talk to other people about it, and they're like, what? And we're like,
What are you talking about?
yes, that was a dream I had. Definitely a dream. It's
Guess
fine.
I had some bad honey.
Yeah, it's fine.
And then we find each other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we still meet up, though.
And Zin goes off to win the spelling bee for the 4th year in a row and then announces, I'm retiring. And of course, the winning word was Hymenoptera.
Amazing. And we're there in the crowd cheering. We
Yes.
also together write a book series about this weird alternative future where bees take over the world using our own language against us and lots of puns, and it's just the right kind of weird that it gets a bit of a cult fall.
It's got some traction on the convention circuit.
Yeah.
You'll just see people dressed up as giant hornet people and like you almost got it right.
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there probably were some times that Beatrice is like, I gotta step out. I can't. Too many puns. Too many. No. I'll be back in like an hour.
Beatrice and Sally start working on shows together because some of the stuff is interesting.
Yeah.
And the world will never know what almost happened.
If you think your team has what it takes to defeat the adversary, go on over to kickstarter.com/project/adversary and back the project because it's great and you should go back it because everyone needs this game. And I'm very excited to have the physical cards so I can run this again and not flip-flop the questions. Also, special thanks to Alexis from Aboard the Opal Star and the lovely Emily, who is Azimuth over on Lawful Great Adventures, for joining us for the shenanigans.